Okay, hi everyone. I hope everybody had a happy new year, and let's hope that this year is going to be better for many of us. I'm hoping to get a random auto write done because Spirit has been pushing me to do that. I don't think I did any last year, but so if you guys haven't checked out the auto writes, I think I put them out in 2019 and a lot of it happened in 2020, so I think that's why they've been at me because they want me to do a New Year one, so I'm going to try to get that done as soon as I can. I feel like I haven't had a fibro flare in a while, but these last couple days I feel like I'm kind of getting it. So I'm trying to do all that I can. I'm pretty backed up. Just a reminder, all the links for my book and for my shirts and everything, if you want to support me, it will be down below in the drop down. If you have not subscribed and this is your first time here, if you like psychics and true crime, this is probably the channel for you. I do try to get as much information as I can in order to help drive investigations into a new direction. And if you haven't hit the notification bell, make sure that you do that as well. So this is going to be a long reading. I'm warning you. It took me about an hour or so to type it up, so it's going to be pretty long. I'm going to try to edit it when this is all done and add in the sketches that I had done a couple years ago because I think that they are relevant from what I'm finding out. So as I always say, readings can be past, present, or future. This was actually done on December 22nd, 2020. Things can be symbolic or have multiple meanings. Any names that are stated can be first, middle, or last, but I normally get first, and they can just be connections, not necessarily the direct person, but important to the puzzle. I try to focus mostly on the girls and the perp. However, it's possible there could be some interconnects because there always is. Girls seemed happy to talk to me. It's been quite a while. And they have planned on me jumping it back in for a bit because one of my team members got drawing and psychic back in August, and I did have a couple of psychic drawings drawn up of people who I was seeing, and they're starting to be relevant from information that I'm finding out or that's being sent to me. Like I said, I'll work on getting this edited so I can share them hopefully. If not, they're in the group. So if you haven't joined the Psychic Sleuth group, please do so. They have been shared before. At first, I thought the one was Mexican because they referenced my uncle. However, I think it was to get the face right, like the features and stuff, certain things about the features. So he's not necessarily that. As I know now, I don't feel that it had anything to really do with race, and now that the more I'm getting to understand, it was more about the features and whatnot. I do feel that people behind the scenes are tied to a bigger entity. I don't really want to say it here. This will be typed and posted in the group. Anyway, so I found a couple people that actually match my sketches, and therefore I think they're accurate. Without putting names out there, I was kind of confused as to why I was getting one group of people that I always get when on all my readings, and if you have not seen, the other readings, you should reference back. And then a couple of names of this other group that I now know are important. And I'm wondering if they could be connected through the Odin type group or a brotherhood that has always come in. Anyway, I tried to focus on only the perps and go one at a time. I do feel like they mixed them up a bit at times, but mostly they were trying to describe them separately. But there might be some things mixed up. So things for my auto writes in the last reading, and this should all be put together for the biggest picture. I have 10 auto writes, and I have 2 focus readings, and now these. So keep in mind that not everything in my 10 auto writes from before will fit Delphi. I found many interconnects of many different cases, past, present, and future, but you can kind of tell what belongs to Delphi. I was able to validate the name Alan that I have gotten, and that has come out in a recent video that validates that name, and many others that I got when this first happened. Now on to the reading. Oh, I wanted to do another reading before I release this, but I'm having some issues getting anybody available to do the reading with me. So I'll release this and then I'll try to do another one ASAP. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This is just my psychic medium impressions for entertainment purposes only. There seems to be 2 different groups mentioned, and I'm wondering if they are connected somehow. Sorry, I keep mentioning that, but both seem to have been there that day. I just found this out in January, and I did this reading in December. So as I said, I wanted to try to focus on the perp or perps in connection or whatever. We already know what happened from the last focus reading and the auto-write, so basically I didn't want to take them back through that again. I just wanted to try and see more into these people because that's what's really important at this time. One of the girls showed me gloved hands, but they were their gloves, little knitted ones, and showed me 2 fingers. I think this was a way to say that they were going to describe 2 people. Later they brought in a little on like a third, but put up another finger, which I didn't say in the reading, but it kept repeating after I finished and as I'm writing. So now I think it's possible there are at least 3 people. But the description will be of the 2. The following parts may be a bit mixed up, but mostly together. I had already had a discussion in my head with them and told them what I needed and had said that they missed me. It was really sweet. So holding up a little gloved hands, I think they were pink color, a light pink, and the number 2. I wanted to try to focus one at a time. I was telling her, however, like I said, some may have come in a little bit mixed up. Just to see where it fit. Just see what fits where. But I wanted to focus on BG first. So J, I kept hearing Jim or Jimmy. Talked about a factory and hear a loud truck. I ask about from the area and I hear no. I hear the word hired. They draw my attention to drugs and gang activity, and I don't know, I always get hired for this or told to do this or something of that nature. Like it's never felt like a crime of opportunity to me. It's always felt more planned. And I get a reference to darker hair that has sort of a wave to it. It's on the dark brown side, but has a reddish tint. I kind of get that as I type. I also get a reference to a pointy sort of nose. They show me a hump, but then a point at the end of the nose. Nose looks to have been broken at one time. Walks with hands in his pockets and black gloves. Shows me camo like a hunter would wear. Talks about him being professional and one that did most of the work. I hear the word crew for some reason and they flash me back to Ellis. So I feel that they were saying there's a connection there. The guy doesn't do drugs, or at least hard drugs. I don't feel that didn't come in that way. He seems more clear-headed. And also the word enforcer. His eyes are brown but can look black at moments. I think this may be another guy because then they showed me eyes that were a little bit yellowish with green in them. So maybe hazel color for another guy. That was what was kind of mixed up. So I'm like, what does he do? And I was shown a briefcase. I say maybe he's a businessman or it's symbolic for business, but I think they state yes. But I asked and they state yes. And I said, and then they said they flashed some money at me. So I feel like maybe either he was paid for this or there was involvement of money of some kind. That's not the first time that's come through. And I don't know why the name Edwards comes in, but hang on to it. I've gotten that quite a few times in the past. It may fit here or be an interconnect. For some reason, again, there is an attention to the large truck, with a loud motor, which I know I saw this so many times in auto writes I did. And I always get like a red color. So, I don't know. It's weird because when they say J, it's like J-A-Y, but then they said the other name Jim. So, I don't know, he could go by both. They could be talking about him having an alias, or they could just be referencing J. I did get the name J-A-Y back when I was working on the case and I had Reiki done and I was trying to focus. That's a name that came to me, so it could be significant. But I keep getting more of a professional feel around him for some reason. I'm not sure why. He knew, although they snapped the picture or the video, that they would not be able to tell who he was. I think he may have light freckles on his cheeks and over the bridge of his nose. They say 5'8" for some reason, but then I get a range from 5'8" to 5'10". I'm like, how old is he? And they say 40s. Grows out a beard in the winter months from time to time, cuts it in the summer months or when he feels like it. Seems to change a lot. I feel like he cut everything after this, like shaved his head, cut his beard, or trimmed it up. I also keep getting a factory for some reason, but they keep saying enforcer. Someone crossed a line they shouldn't have. He was there to teach a lesson. That's why the message with their bodies, etc. I also get the name Tim again. I've gotten that in the auto writes. I get like he's a ghost when it comes to knowing he did this, and no one really knows who he is except those that were there and like the group or the people that had him do it. I also get a military background because I can hear guns going off like I'm in a war zone. Psychopath of the sneakiest kind. I get a reference to a hunter, as I'm shown him shooting a gun with a deer in sight. It may be symbolic, but he's down on one knee doing this. They show me him kissing a blonde woman that looks like she could be his wife, and I'm referenced two older kids, a boy and a girl. Look like teens or early teens, so they aren't young children. He carries a hunting knife on his hip. It's serrated and in a pouch. I also think he may carry a gun. That comes in now as I'm typing. And as I'm typing, I also get a reference to combat-style boots, but I don't know if this belongs to the same guy, but I see pants tucked into. Going back to the reading, they show me a garrote, but it's got the wooden handles on each side and has a thick wire. This is wound up and placed in a pouch or someplace on him. I get that on a normal day, he seems normal, although may have a temper. He's been able to be two different people. One is the job, while the other is the normal life. Like the job, or when he does bad things, it can be cold and calculated. But otherwise, I keep seeing a business-type person, or one that seems to be into his job, or kids or wife, like two different personalities. He's got good at hiding what he's capable of. There's a reference to a connection to the court somewhere. I'm not sure where or why, or how it's connected, or if this is even belonging here, but they showed me a lawyer. So, which I'm not thinking he is, but he could be connected to one, or one knows something, or this future or past info. But I get a reference to a suit and a briefcase, and it looks like this guy is walking into a courthouse, and they wave an American flag at me. They say if anyone knew this man, they would not think he is capable of the things that happened, because I get a reference to him being extremely charming, but then the other side is cruel and unforgiving. They show me a Taurus bull, so that may be one of his signs, or connected somehow, some way. Most people don't understand that we can go by our rising, our moon, and our sun sign, so we're not just one sign, but we're multiple. So there could be a Taurus in there, or he's connected to one. This is considered, I think, a job to him, or that's how he looked at it. It feels like he didn't know the girls or have that kind of attachment to him, but this was something that had to be done. But I think one of the other men was, or somehow there's a connection to them, but I don't think it's him. Matter of fact, I see him looking at a picture of them and studying and being told where they would be, I believe. He flicks the picture as he looks at it, and I think this is probably prior. I'm shown him smoking, but I don't think it's a habit. Girls mention a chiseled sort of jaw. Never wears what he wore that day, so people shouldn't look for that type of attire. I don't know, I get kind of a strong type of jawline, and I don't think the guy is skinny like he seems to pack on some chubbiness. I don't think this man has been ever arrested, but he's has very quiet links maybe to gangs, such as I get a reference to being paid off. If it's not him, it is someone he's being. He's actually sort of handsome, or one is, the girls say. The sketches don't seem to be close enough, but they have some things correct. I get a reference to a scar on the eyebrow, trying to stay with just one person, like I said, but what I'm getting may not fit all him, like I stated, but it could, fit one of them. But I was trying to do it that way. So no one will tell on this man because he is dangerous in many ways. If he goes down, they go down. I get the word Penn and Tell. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know if it's a last name or what. And I don't think he has any type of Facebook or anything like that that's showing his picture or anything. It could be in different names. I feel like he's he's not trying to be out there too now in case he's recognized. So I think it's highly possible that he watches from a fake profile to see what's being said. He's gotten away with things like this before, and he's not worried as they haven't been close to him. I keep getting the name Kevin, so I don't know if it goes with this case or not, but it's been coming in for a bit now. Trying to get more about him. They keep mentioning Colorado, but no idea why. And no, it's not because of B and Suzanne's case. It may be some sort of interconnect, or there may be ties there. I am shown Indiana, and they say he's from a neighboring city or town. They say that there is sometimes a strong smell of cologne or smell of some kind. It's either cologne or a chemical or something. I don't know. I can't quite make it out, but at the same time, I do get reminded of CK kind of smell. It could also be a soap. Also shows me sideburns, and he has them or grows them out. His hair is, I keep getting like a chestnut, but has like a reddish tint to it. His hands are strong, which suggests that he does things with his hands, as they are showing me his hands being strong, which usually suggests that he works a lot with them, usually to build or do things, even if it's for his job or hobby. And I wanted to try to get some on the other guy. They say that this other guy may have known them, or they knew him. Either saw him somewhere or knew him. I'm not sure, but there's a familiarity there. In this sense, I get a reference to being sort of an apprentice or someone they're learning or helping. I get ties to drug scene, and he even does drugs. I feel he has ties to the Kurt Circle. He's more sloppy looking. I get a reference to those plaid button-up long sleeve shirts being tied around his waist. I get a direct link to Ashley, and they showed me Ashley and then put a line from her to him. Jay keeps coming in all the time around this, like it just did before. I get a reference to two types of shoes. One is white tennis shoes, and the other is like a work boot type, brown type boot. I think work boot could be for the first guy, or maybe this guy. Like I said, things can come in mixed in, or he may have both. He may have both types. But they show me white shoes with blood on them, so it's like they saw him and they knew who he was. And it's like, hey, I know you, even if it was just in passing. And then I get a connection to Derek. They keep showing me Libby's dad, like he's in the center of this for some reason. I get someone, probably this guy is trolling their social media, so I'm going to go back and fix some typos. Took me forever to type. So anyways, and they show me this one cooking drugs. This one may have enlisted to help the other one, but they are, I think, all linked to the Ellis crew. I also hear loud motorcycles with him or someone connected to him. P comes in strong as well again. I don't know, I think that maybe he lives with his mom. I'm going into a house, and it's a smaller house with his mom is there, and the room is filled with smoke. He's younger, I think. Ages can be hard sometimes, but I feel he can be 20s and up. But he's much younger, or feels much younger than the older guy. And actually, the older guy is kind of annoyed by him at times. He's annoyed at how stupid he is. I know in my last readings, I got a reference to Garrett. I think that I was shown him as a connection, or seeing it, or knowing about it, something of that nature. Anyone is too afraid to say anything, but they do keep making a reference to him. And since I got Bowen before it happened, I think that maybe it's some kind of connected case through connections, if you know what I mean. Because I get a reference to music and horses again with Garrett, and they draw a line to the word that says friend from him. So back to this other guy. This guy looks kind of skinny-ish, maybe even sunken in cheeks at times. I get a sense of a huge difference in him over the last couple years. Like, people will notice that he either changed in a good way or a bad way, but it seems to be major changes. And I keep getting a reference to someone who paints their fingernails black. Now, this could be to show me the color black, or it's something that keeps coming on. It could just be that this guy's connected to someone like that, or it could be he does that. So I got a lot of devil worshipping and things like that. This group does. Licking the knife, which I've always seen, and just weird stuff. And again, a reference to cooking drugs. I hear the word buckskin. Not really sure why. I've gotten this name before, so not sure if it's a connection, or if it even fits this case, or if it's an interconnect. But the name Oscar. I also got a reference to someone being kind of emo, and it's possible I get a reference to links with the family, like branches out. Like there's the family, there's this person links, sorry, and I think to possibly a cousin. I get this person may have gone to a family gathering. Also, he smokes as well. And I get a reference to, and I see Marlboros right after I saw the smoking. So, I get a reference to, I know there's a Christopher, but this is not him, but he links, I think, to him, if that makes sense. I get a lot of death metal, heavy metal music, and I think he may have lived kind of close to where the girls were. I get that he may have followed them somehow on social media, and I get a white vehicle. I keep getting a reference to X, so I don't know if this is on the license plate or something. No idea. And also an R. And I hear the words betrayal, ultimate betrayal. Trying to pull names up, but I wasn't having a good time with that, so I get it. Hopefully that'll come more in the next reading. I get like a J. I also get the name Richard again. I also get a link to this guy knowing or being friends with Abby's dad, but I think knowing. But then I get a weird kind of link to the grandpa, like he knows him or something. I don't know. It feels more like I just know who he is, not great friends. It's just a link of some sort. And I get it's possible both girls knew him or knew of him. I keep getting, there's a lesson to be taught here, a lesson of don't screw with us, a lesson of we will make you suffer type thing. I get the word brother again, like a brother to someone. This may be by blood or not by blood. I know brotherhood came in a lot in my auto writes. They show me rubber boots. Maybe he's one that worked at the factory, but I do keep getting a factory link. Now, but I think way behind this, I've always been reminded again of a larger entity that kind of controls that area, and I don't really want to say the name. This will be typed up and put in the group. So I keep getting reference to that. So I guess they control a lot in the town and the gangs. So I'm trying to see who this guy is. Like he's got sorry. He has his brown hair on the lighter side, I think. His eyes look lighter though. His face is a bit sunken in, and it could be how he was at the time or how he is now. I feel like he may have changed and others would have noticed the change. I get a reference to, I don't know why they keep showing me, maybe he's got a whiter face now, and his facial hair is kind of darker color, and I get like stubble as I'm talking to you guys right now. And right here, his face looks more of like an oval shape to it. And his nose is fatter nose with his nostrils kind of wider nose. I think this could fit both BG. They seem to have similar noses, both him and BG. And there's or either that or there's a mix-up. But I also get a reference to someone shaving their head completely bald, like shiny bald. There seems to be a huge connection to Ellis, and that's maybe why I got him in the auto write so much. I don't know if he was there that night or he's just a major connection in this, but he has to be connected in some way because it's something that continues to come through. Maybe the overseer or maybe just a link of some kind. And I don't know if they kept their hair shaved, but I see them rubbing like a shiny bald head. And there is also a reference to A, again, I believe for the Aryan Bros Brotherhood, that comes in a lot around this case. They would like the family, the girls would like the family to have answers. But as for them, they're okay. They understand as part of their contracts and everything. They're healed and whole on the other side. And they're happy. The ones left behind and the people that have been shaken by it deserve some kind of answers. And not sure if that will ever come. It seems to be up in the air at this point because I can't seem to get an answer on it. But also they need justice because the people involved need to be brought to the forefront and held accountable for this. This person is widely protected. Not much evidence was left because he knew what he was doing. Any DNA doesn't feel like it's in the system, or maybe it won't even fit him. I don't feel like he was sloppy. Either that. I mean, I get in flashes now that he did most of the work, but he just wasn't sloppy. Second guy, again, I get a reference to Baggy jeans, t-shirts, even showed me his boxers, or at least he did back then. A big fan of heavy metal and death metal, punk I guess. He has weird things about him that are on the darker side that people have noticed, and he may have discarded his shoes after that day or changed them because of the blood I saw in them. He is connected in the crew that keeps coming up, and I also get a direct connection to family and also to Ashley, whether they just knew him or knew of him or what. I think there's a reference to all growing up around one another, and I can't shake that connection to the cousin. And the name Aaron comes in too, and that did come back in the auto writes. So again, could be just a connection. So I get a reference to black with this guy, like lots of black, whether he wears black lipstick and nails like emo, even just at home, or wears a lot of black. I'm not really sure where this fits, honestly. It could just be a connection of some kind. It has kept coming in, though. So I also get the word payback. Everything about this screams payback, whether it was to the girls or to someone close to them, and the girls say that as well. There may have been some sort of attraction with the second guy and one of the girls, but this is mostly about payback. I also get the word narked on someone, and this, narked, so someone narked on someone else, and this is payback. Or to keep from being narked on. I guess it could also fit with the word narc. So I keep getting a blondish guy as well, so it's not really light color blonde, maybe a dirty blonde. I don't know why. I get kind of a pointy nose with him. It's either there's a connection, he might be connected to these two. I don't know if he's necessarily involved, but he has always come in. But when people are involved in drugs, and they have, sometimes they can get pretty out there, sadly. So it's weird I want to add that I keep getting two different groups because being connected, that you wouldn't think would be. I don't know if this fits through Odinism stuff or what, but it's hard to explain. And for some reason, I keep getting a reference to people that look similar, but take these two groups and collide them. So I don't know. I also get a reference to, as I'm typing, like mountain men looking types, and the white van I saw in Dulce's reading is coming in again. And after typing all this up I got the other night, there are things that I have found out the last couple of days that makes me wonder why I'm getting things on two different groups of people. Excuse me. And how they could be connected. One group was there, and I've gotten two of their names in this reading that we are realizing. There's a few other things that I've gotten that fit as well, that we know about anyway. And honestly, they look like my own sketches. And I didn't realize this till a couple of days ago, and I did those readings back in December. And then I get this connected group to the drugs. Could they somehow both be involved, or linked, or connected in some way? I don't know, I've been kind of confused over it because I'm getting information on both. I just have like this tickle in my throat. Sorry. Like I said, after typing this up, they keep colliding and intermingling these two groups, and I'm not really sure why. I don't know if they're known associates or what. It's kind of tripping me out. And like I said, I'm wondering how they could be linked. But if somehow both groups are involved, because I go back to the auto rights and I got the spider. Yes, it meant like a tangled web and someone dangerous, but it could also have meant something else. And as I'm typing, I'm also getting a business owner. That could be the professionalism I'm getting. And I get some type of spray nozzle thing, and it looks like BG. I have a logo on his hat, And there were symbols I got back in my auto rights, and now I'm wondering. And as I'm typing, I get the name Keith. And I'm not sure how that name fits or where it belongs. I try not to know anything because then it's hard to see what's coming to you or from you, but I wanted to mention that because the whole time I was typing this